Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. And before we kick off, I want to give a little moment. I should have did this originally a while back, but we're here and we're going to make sure we do it. I want to give a shout out to Barcode. I definitely needed to do this. Like I said, when this happened, but as content comes out and stuff goes on, you get a little lost in the sauce. But I wanted to give a shout out to Barcode, an amazing YouTuber within this community, and he has helped so many people. As a matter of fact, bottom comment, I'd have to scroll down. This man is a free-to-play god, pretty much. He puts everything together for the users that don't have any SSRs and or are struggling having the not having the SSRs that are necessary to run the content that's before us. And I want to thank you, Barcode, for for showing me some love on the video. I can't remember exactly which video this was. I want to say it was one of my how-to videos of 100% auto farming, one of the Inferno dungeons. But I want to give you, I want to tip my hat off to you. I appreciate it. For some odd reason, I'll make it. I don't know why. I needed to get rid of that Drake and release songs. Jesus. Okay. I want to make sure that I pay this man his respects, and being able to give us so much content within the community that helps. And this man is pretty well off as far as like the views, the respect that the community gives him, and what he offers. So I want to go ahead and pay mine forward to him. I'll link his link his channel in the description, and just want to tip my hat off to you, my dude. Thank you for coming through, showing some love to the video, and give us some tips, because I'm here to stay. I'm here to still make videos, whatever it is, whether it be strictly how-tos, which I think that's what I'll stick with. I'm not really big on the whole reaction thing, the whole drama scheme within saying, we all know what the problem is with theory restart when it comes down to the economy and stuff. But moving forward, we're all here to still play the game and still try to get things accomplished, and that is what we're here to do. And that's drop how-tos or what to use. And that's all I got when it comes down to that. Thank you again, Barcode. Let me go ahead and drop this. Okay, so we're in the game, and in this video we will be covering how to manage your shell combos, or your the outlook of having certain shells for certain dungeons, and what you want to be comprised of when you go in said dungeons, and or any content besides PvP. PvP is most definitely a case-by-case scenario, but we'll go here. Let's go to our shells. So in my other videos, I do cover where a lot of my supports, and we'll start with supports first. The supports are mainly, they're supports, but your supports handle mainly the biggest work of everything, and that's keeping everything alive, whether your supports or your debuffers, your healers, or just overall sustain, just keeping them in, just like throwing up shields and whatnot. You want to cater to your supports. I have way more support shells built up versus DPS, mainly because there's so many supports in the game, and there's so much stuff that you want to be able to cover, and you want to make sure you have the right shell for the right job. So let's go ahead and start. Main shells that are the top dogs is Artisan, Gigabyte, and Guard. By far top tier, S tier. If I probably should have made this a tier list video, but pretty sure everybody knows. But this is just going to be a breakdown and of really how to use it. And in my experience, let's go back, and I'll go ahead and start us up one, just so you can see what I'm referencing here while I'm talking about shells and what you're aiming for. Now, besides that, there are gimmicks. There are gimmicks like Shadow Flame Holy Fight doesn't count, but generally speaking, when you're in a dungeon, you want to have the biggest support you can have. As you can tell here on my Valerian, we're running Artisan. On Lily, we're running Artisan. That is super important, and that is the biggest pivotal means of sustaining. Lily's defense isn't really high, but the reason why is if you get cut down short and you are waiting for your sustain or your healer to come in and save the day, you need that little bit of push. Artisan's going to get that covered. Artisan's going to come up, throw on that shield. Be careful not to bring too many Artisans, because the shields don't stack. It just erases the shield on said target and gives them the new shield with the new defense applied, that is based off the defense of the animus holder or the shell holder. So if, let's say I had let's say Yelly had the lowest health, Valerian's shield from Artisan will proc and be placed on Yelly. After that, once it's Lily's turn, if Yelly still has the lowest health, the shield that is now formed from the second Artisan will not stack on top of Yelly. It will remove the Valerian shield and then reapply the shield, but based off of Lily's defense. So make sure to take that into account whenever you're using the Artisan gimmick. Bringing 2 Artisans to the fight is very helpful, especially if you're taking a lot of damage in multiple different places. It makes it to where things run a little bit smoothly and a lot of different people are being covered. So that's pretty much it as far as the Artisan play. The next one is Gigabyte. So let's go ahead and get out of here. And we're going to mainly cover the support shells first before we dig too deep elsewhere. Let's see. Rengoku really doesn't count. I don't think I really have anything too crazy in the Rengoku fight. I don't remember who I was even using. So in this fight, still the same right here. We still have the Artisans, which is important. You want the double stack, but we also have the Gigabyte. Gigabyte is super important when you're going against multiple enemies and you're really trying to get that kick push. If your speed is not there, Gigabyte is your speed corrector. Like if you need somebody to just jump up to the front, but their speed tuning isn't right and you didn't get the right rolls you want, Gigabyte corrects that. Gigabyte takes care of all that and makes it to where things run the way you need them to run. And I do recommend Gigabyte on a lot of different characters. I mean, you could use it anywhere, but you got to be careful. Sometimes Gigabyte doesn't end up working the way it needs to. And let's just say your turn meter, let's just say Klaus is sitting at the beginning of the turn meter, or is about to rotate into the beginning of the turn meter, and then procs Gigabyte off of the last 3 instances are all your enemies. It completely messes it up. So be careful. Gigabyte is a very, very interesting. And let's see. I think we have Aurora be next. So in Aurora, which is another crazy thing. Okay, I have 3 Artisans. I would remove Artisan and throw Jackal Guard on him on Viper. Reason why it helps him speed, helps him rotate, helps him rotate to where he's able to apply the debuff for this fight quite often. And the speed tuning can get thrown off by Lily, so be careful of that. You don't want multiple Jackal Guards in the same rotation. 1 Jackal Guard's good enough. Be mindful of speed tuning issues when you're using multiple Jackal Guards. It will all throw it away. And especially if you have speed up characters or if you have a lot of speed boosting, turn meter boosting characters within one fight, it will make it a little bit harder to make Jackal Guard worth it. If you're running multiple, even just one, it'll get thrown off just a bit. So we'll get out of that as well. And I'm pretty sure that mainly covered it. And then we're missing a couple other ones. It just depends on the application, but some honorable mentions here. We have Alicorn. Alicorn is very meh. It's interesting. I like Alicorn. I've been trying to use Alicorn inside Rengoku to get rid of those debuffs, because mainly my problem is my Yelly gets obliterated. She gets obliterated every time, and sometimes Lily messes up and isn't able to get her little piece off. It's a mess. And I'm still learning how to get that situated. But Alicorn, really good support shell, makes it to where you can fight through those debuffs and kick off with what you need to. Really good support shell. And of course, we have our sustained shells. We have our Supernova, and we have our Fortismo. These are our healing shells. Really good. I'm really not going to dig too deep within like Lighthouse or Lost Silence or even Count. Counts towards the DPS side, but you see really Count used among the Rosas and the Ramokas. I mean, which is good, beautiful thing, but we have other options when it comes to that. I think for the most part, it's really good and safe to stay within support shells, your heavy hitters being Artisan, Jackal Guard, and Gigabyte. I do recommend keep multiple, keep re-rolling your passes, and of course it's going to be based off of who you need it to be. So be very mindful and careful of that. You can run into a bunch of nasty multitude of issues if you run into not having these built. Just build them as best as you can, and I'm telling you, your life is going to be a lot easier. Just trust me. I promise you, my life has become a lot better once I started acquiring a lot more shells that were going to help me in the long run, because that's the hardest part, is acquiring shells to help out with the end goal. And sometimes the end goal is a little tough. It gets kind of rocky sometimes, but you end up getting there. But let's move on to the DPS shells. DPS shells, I mean, they're point blank. They're case in point for the most part. Depending on your person you're using, will be what you need. I have White Fang on Heinrich. I'm pretty sure that's I had him on Revelation because he has a multi hit, but you know, we're going to digress from that. Of course, Ditting is sitting at with a strong White Fang as well, and we have all my AoE damage dealers sitting on Revelation. That's like the go-to. Revelation is still strong for your AoE hitters, and definitely try your best to get the best rolls as possible, even if you got to farm in like 2-3 weeks at a time. It took me like 2 or 3 weeks to get this shell right here. I mean, it happens to the best of us. We just, you just got to keep pushing, and rinse and repeat. Get rid of all your trash, and then keep it moving. It happens to the best of us. But outside of that, shells and understanding your shell compositions is really, really, really easy. PvE wise, PvP, that I'm not going to make a video that's going to be too much catered to that, because that's really based on what the meta is, and the meta is shifting and kind of just like living there. It's it's one of those things. And if I forgot, an honorable mention would be Codex and Magic. Codex and Magic is like a utility shell, not necessarily support. It's utility, because you can use this on all your CC users, and they will proc their skill 3 back to back. So they'll be turn 1 skill 3, turn 2 skill 3, and then they got, I won't say it's like a long 8 turn cooldown. It's that's long. Be very mindful of using this. This is like mainly a dot team kind of thing when you're trying to do a speed run, and or in PvP where you're just trying to just rush out and hit your mark with whatever you're trying to do to your opponent, and just trying to hurry him and wash him out. So that's really the application of Codex and Magic. And as far as that goes, I'm pretty sure that's really like the biggest wrap up of the shells PvE wise. The supports, I'll be making sure to divide this video up to where you can get where you need to be as far as like the breakdown really between sustains, supports, and DPS shells, and the explanation of what you want as far as the composition. So just like a little bit of a small synopsis. Just be careful with, or a small cover up towards the end. Be careful on your combos of them. You know, you want to make sure you have like a 2-1-1 situation. You know, 2 artisans, your DPS shell, and then have your utility or sustain shell. Something to just like keep you pushing. It makes it so much better. And it depends on the content you're running, but make sure that you try to keep up with what you're using, why you're using it, and what is going to benefit for your team. I'm telling you, 2 artisans makes the big difference between life and death in most of these fights. That artisan proc that normally saves me and buys me 1 more turn to correct whatever crazy situation that came about beforehand. So, you know, you just got to be very, very mindful when it comes down to not only team building, but shell building. You know, reroll your passes. Make sure your passes are all good. Make sure your matrix lines are lining up with what you need. And or if, you know, there's some matrices that don't even have the matrix set that you need as part of it, and you just got to hard run the gear just to get the set bonus. But that's a whole nother situation there. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that this helped you. And as much as I like making these videos, I'm definitely always turning the wheel and trying to think on what I can come out with to help the average everyday player or a new starting player that's trying to dibble and dabble and just trying to find out where their niche is on gear and what they're going to use to try to make it through this content, because the content is very hard. At some points it could get a little rough. So I mean, we're all in this together, and we all are trying to get the best rolls and the best gear, and trying to just push forward and clear as much content as we can. So again, thank y'all for the love and support. Make sure you hit that like on the video, subscribe, and of course tune into many more of these videos. And if you haven't checked out the other videos, definitely go give them a look. There's plenty more to go see, more how-tos. And in this, I hope that we can build off of this, and there's more informative things that I can come out with. So thank you again, and peace.